This here is American Flyers number 4000 standard gauge box cab electric. It's not currently running and it needs a repaint and pretty much a full restoration. So I'm going to get started on that and guide you all through the process with the new video series. First thing that I need to do is, of course, disassemble it completely. The construction is actually a lot simpler than I expected, with only one screw on each side of the body holding that on, so I'll start with that. Then the body just lifts right off after removing those. There's one wire going to it for the headlight. That's got a little clip in there, so I'll just push that down and pull the wire out. And now the body is free. Next I'll remove the motor from the frame. This is held on by 4 screws, one in each corner. And once those are out, the frame will just come right off of there. And with those 4 screws off, the frame lifts over the motor. It takes a little bit of wiggling and angling to get it off there. So once you got it past all the little screws and rivets, it just lifts right off. And next I'll start taking off all the little detail parts. There aren't too many, so it won't take long. The headlight is just simply clipped on there, and it's nothing more than a cover for the actual light bulb, which is screwed in here. And then the other 2 details, the pantograph and bell, are held on by a screw on the top and then a small nut on the bottom. The little nuts can be kind of stiff on there just because of rust and age, so a little pair of pliers like this helps quite a bit in getting those parts off easily. The last details on top are these 2 handrails, which are held in place by these little eye bolt pins here, and those are held on by these long bent over tabs on the inside. These little pins here, they're made of nickel, so they're not susceptible to rust or anything like that, but they were bent very hard at the factory, so unbending them has caused some of the pins to break, and the rest may end up breaking if I try bending them back again, so I'll likely end up replacing all of these. The end grab irons are held on the same way as the large ones on top, with the little pins bent over on the inside there. I see some rust on these that I didn't on the others, so it's possible that these are actually steel and not nickel like I thought before. And then last are the brass nameplates on the side. These are just held in by 2 tabs that are bent over on the inside. Alright, I've got all the detail parts off of here, and this top section right here is also removable, and it needs a little work done, so I'll go ahead and take that off too. It's held in by 2 tabs on each end, which you can see here. While removing that top section, I realized the entire roof here is just popped on. It's held on by nothing more than this little lip around the side. So having the roof off will make it a whole lot easier to work on this, clean it up and repaint it and everything. Alright, that's it for the body. So up next will be disassembling the frame, which should be quite a bit easier since there are a lot fewer parts on it. First up will be the coupler here. These are a lot easier to remove than the usual O gauge and standard gauge trains because they're just held on by 1 screw, this little spacer, and then a nut on the end. And the side frames here are held in place by the pilots, so removing the pilots will also release those from the frame. And with that, the entire engine is now disassembled, and the next step will be getting that motor running.